Today I'm going to be doing a tutorial on smoky eyes. Now this is something that's been requested a few times on Twitter. The smoky eye I'm going to be doing is the one that I'm wearing now, so if I get a bit closer to the camera so you can see. So it's a brown smoky eye look with a fairly nude lip. Now again, if browns don't suit you, you can do it with other colours. You don't have to use the colours that I've been using, but if you want to see how I created this look, then keep watching.
Hi everyone, yes, that's me with no makeup on, feeling very naked, looking a little bit scary, and those two little pinholes are in fact my eyes. Yes, that's right. Oh well, what can you do? Anyway, so we're going to start our look by just applying our foundation. So I'm using Chanel's no, not the Vita Lumiere, what am I talking about? The Pro Lumiere, which is a medium coverage foundation, and the shade I'm using is B20. I have three foundations that I use. I use my Vita Lumiere by Chanel, I use my Pro Lumiere, which is the one I'm using now, and I also use Estee Lauder's Double Wear. One is light coverage, one is medium, and one is heavy. This is the medium coverage foundation, and I've been wearing this so much over the winter. I've just fallen back in love with it. Because yeah, when I bought it, I wasn't so sure about it, but I really have enjoyed wearing it this winter. So I'm just applying this with a foundation brush. You can use a stippling brush, which is slightly different to the foundation brush that I'm using. Stippling brush gives more of a light airbrushed look, whereas the foundation brush is more of a heavy coverage. So I'm going for a very sort of perfect kind of looking skin, so I want that heavy coverage, which is why I'm using the foundation brush as opposed to the stippling brush. Next up is I'm going to fill in my brows. Now, a lot of people like to do this step after they've done their eyeshadow. I prefer to do it before, simply because I like to have my whole sort of eye area defined so that when I'm putting my eyeshadow on, I know where I need to go up to. So I use my eyebrows as kind of a guide for my eyeshadow. The kit I'm using is just my HD Brows kit in the colour Vamp, and this is the mid-brown colour from that palette. I like having quite a dark eyebrow. Considering I've got blonde hair, the eyebrows which I like to wear are a little bit dark, but I find that once I've got all my makeup on, they really do sort of blend in and add definition to my face. So if you don't have this kit, an eyeshadow that is really good if you want to use an eyeshadow for your brows and fairly universal shade is Max Amiga on a brush, so that's a good one to try out. There we go. Moving on to the eye area. So now I'm taking my Maybelline Colour Tattoo in On and On Bronze. In North America, this one's actually called Bad to the Bronze. It has a slightly different name. Just taking that and just putting it all over my lid with my finger and up to the crease. I absolutely love these. They just give a really nice base and they add a little bit of shimmer as well. The colours I'm going to be using today for this smoky eye look are all fairly matte, but you'll find that when you put the matte eyeshadow over the top of one of these cream eyeshadows, the effect you get is just absolutely stunning. It just gives it like a really nice sheeny look, so that's why I like using these. Plus it gives you a little bit of a head start on building up that smoky eye colour on your lid. There we go. Right, now on to the eyeshadow. I'm taking MAC Espresso for this look, and it's sort of like a medium matte brown. It's a really gorgeous colour actually. If you're blonde, this is perfect for a smoky eye look if you're doing a brown look. If you are a bit darker than me, then you may want to use something which is slightly darker than the colour that I'm using, but for me this is perfect. So I'm just taking that colour all over my lid, over the top of the cream eyeshadow that we've put on. You might find it sort of ends up being a little bit patchy first of all. Don't get too disheartened if it does look a little bit patchy and you're sort of thinking as you're going through, oh, this doesn't look right. Just carry on going. The thing with eyeshadow is you just got to blend and build up that colour, and you'll find if you stick with it, you end up getting that look that just looks really, really nice. So we're going for sort of a gradient look again. So just carry on applying that onto your lid and take your blending brush, a clean blending brush I might add, and just blend those colours in together. So it's all about that soft look. I'm now going in with a slightly darker colour, and for this I'm using MAC Smut, which is a darker brown than the Espresso, and I'm just running that into the outer V of my eye. So again, I'm just following my socket line out into the V and just bringing it down slightly onto the lid as well. I am going a little bit closer to the nose than I would normally for this look, because we basically, with a smoky eye, you want to define your socket line, so that's why I'm going a bit towards my nose, and I'm also starting to wing it out a little bit, not too much, at the outer corner. So just build up that colour into a shape that looks good for your eyes, because not everybody suits the same eyeshadow shape. I've now actually got my blending brush, and on the end of it I've got a little bit of MAC's Malt, which is a light brown colour, or a soft brown, and again this is the transition colour that we're using. So transition colour is just the colour you use between your eyelid colour and your highlight, so it just ensures that you blend everything in and it sort of blends it out into a nice soft brown colour. So just a little bit of that, and run it over the top of the edge just to smooth that out. Now I'm switching back to my Urban Decay flat brush, and I've got some MAC's Vanilla for my highlight. So I'm just running that underneath my brow. Again, I love this shade for a highlight. And on the inner corner of my eye, I'm using my old favourite, and again, it's MAC's Nylon. This is just the perfect inner corner colour. I can't tell you how much I love this colour. It's just amazing. And blend, blend, blend. Blend everything in together. With a smoky eye, you don't want any harsh lines. You'll notice I'm not going to use any liquid eyeliner. It's too harsh for a smoky eye look. We're going to do a line, we're going to define our eyes, but we're going to do it with an eyeshadow instead. So now I'm taking my Urban Decay flat brush, and I'm just taking some of the colour down underneath my lash line. So I'm taking my espresso colour again and just running that underneath my lashes, all the way from the outer corner and joining it up with the outside. So we get a very fluid look. Now we're going to line our eyes, and as I said, we're using eyeshadow for this. Well, it's actually not even an eyeshadow that I'm using. I'm using another colour from my eyebrow palettes. That's from the HD Brows kit, and I'm using the same little brush which I used on my brows. Now for this, if you don't have an HD Brows kit, you can use any dark eyeshadow for this. So a black would be good here, so something like MAC's Carbon if you have that, or Print or something like that. Anything that's slightly darker. It could even be a very dark brown, and just take it on a brush and use it as an eyeliner. So push it into the top lash line and then push it into the lower lash line as well. I'm then taking my Ruby and Millie smudger tool, and I'm just smudging that out slightly, just so I don't have any harsh lines. The whole idea of a smoky eye effect is so that it looks like literally you have that soft, diffused, sort of smoky look around each eye. So nothing should be harsh. You shouldn't be able to see any lines. I'm now going to do my inner waterline. So I'm taking my Bare Essentials eyeliner. Sorry, I forgot what I was doing there for a moment. Bare Essentials Kohl eyeliner, and just running that under or in my waterline. And again, this is in the colour Espresso. That's a real coincidence. I didn't plan on using an eyeshadow called Espresso and an eyeliner called Espresso. That's just the way it's worked out. This is one of my favourite Kohl eye pencils. It's just lovely. It's really soft, really easy to work with. It's also really nice to smudge it out as well, which is what I'm going to do in a moment. So apply it to the waterline, and again I'm going to take my smudger tool and I'm just going to smudge it down slightly over the top of that eyeshadow that I've run underneath the ash line. And there we go. I've done the other eye off camera just to save some time. I'm now going to do my concealer. This is probably seems a bit weird to you, doing your concealer after you've done your eye makeup, but I actually prefer to do it this way because it means if I've got any drop down from my eyeshadow when I've been putting it on, that it doesn't stick to the concealer. If I put my concealer on first, sometimes if you get little drops of eyeshadow fall onto it and then you try and sort of get rid of it, it smudges everything, so it's not good. So I'm putting the concealer on afterwards, and the one I'm using is Benefit's Erase Paste, and I'm just using a concealer brush to put this on. So you just want to run it underneath your eyes if you have any dark circles, and you can also put it over any little zits at this stage if you want to. We're then going to powder our face, and for this I'm using my favourite powder of the moment, which is a super cheap one. This stuff is incredible, it's so cheap, and it's Rimmel's Stay Matte Translucent Powder. Absolutely love it. It really does stay all day, and I just love the way it feels on my face. It's really sort of finely milled, it feels very soft, and it really does just make your makeup look lovely. It's just powder all over your face. If you don't like to powder all over, then just powder in the places that you need to, so maybe across your T-zone. Bring it down onto your neck as well. Wherever you've got your makeup, you really want to apply some powder just to set it all. And what we're going to do after this is we're just going to do a little bit of contouring. Not a great deal. Somebody has asked me if I can do a contouring tutorial, which I probably will do at some point. We're just going to do a little bit of contouring. So I'm just taking my Too Faced French Riviera bronzing palette, and I'm using one of the darker browns in there, and I'm just taking a angled shader brush or blush brush, and I'm just running that up underneath my cheekbones. Not too much, just a little bit. We're not going for a particularly angular faced look here, but just a little bit so we can see our cheekbones. If you find you put a little bit too much on, just switch back to your foundation brush and run your foundation brush in circles over the top just to blend that in and take down some of that colour. Lovely, and you can also take a little bit up onto your temples if you want to, and underneath your chin, just to make your face look a little bit thinner. Not that I need my face to look thinner. I've got a very long, thin face, but I like products that make my face look wider. So probably why I don't contour that much. Mascara. Now, this is like a bit of a trial here that I'm doing. This is a new mascara that I bought. This is Maybelline's new mascara. I can't remember what it's called. I think it's called Rocket Lash, something like that. It's the one in the bright blue and pink packaging. I love Maybelline mascaras, so I thought I would give this one a go. So this is the first time I'm using it. So I'll have to get back to you as to how it fares during the day, but so far so good. Just applying one coat of this to the top lashes. I'm not someone who ever applies 2 coats of mascara. I just find after the first coat, when you do a second coat, it just seems to clump the lashes together and make them really crunchy, so I never bother doing a second coat of mascara. I'm quite lucky, I do have quite long lashes anyway, so I don't think I really need it. Moving on to the lips, so we're doing a pale lip with this look. You really don't want to do a bright lip when you've got a smoky eye, simply because you'll find that the two sort of try and fight against each other. When you're doing makeup, it's best to sort of pick one feature to go crazy on and keep everything else fairly soft. So if you're doing a very bright lip, then you want less on your eyes, and vice versa. So I'm just doing a really pale lip, so this is just a neutral coloured lip liner. And I'm going to be using this MAC lipstick, and this is in the colour Cream Cup. I bought this, and I bought another nude one called Angel from MAC recently, and oh my god, I absolutely love these. I'm not really a nude lipstick wearer. I tend to go for brights on my lips, but I bought these and I've been wearing them all week, and I've absolutely fallen in love with them. It's like my new obsession is like nude lipsticks. I just can't get enough of them. And this is absolutely gorgeous. It's like a Your Lips, only better kind of colour. And the final thing we're going to do is we need a little bit of blusher on our cheeks. So this is my Inglot palette that I customised myself, very fancy. If you go to the Inglot store, you can just pick whichever colours you like and put them together in a palette. So I'm sorry, I don't know what this colour is. It's a very sort of pale, sort of baby doll pink. Again, you don't want anything too harsh on your cheeks with this look, so keep everything quite nice and light, because it's the eyes that are the main star of this show today, and everything else should be fairly soft. So just apply a bit of that to the apples of your cheeks. I always put a little bit of blusher on my chin. Don't ask me why, I've always done it. My mum used to do it, and now I do it. I don't know if it's supposed to balance out your cheeks or what, but I like it. And there we go. So you can see, I think this look is really lovely for daytime or nighttime. And there we go. So graded look. Thanks for watching.